Silence. It's in silence that greatness is born. It's in the quiet moments when no one's watching that champions are made. You see, life isn't about the noise, the fanfare, or the applause. It's about what you do when the world isn't looking. It's about the grind. Now, I want you to picture something for me. Imagine two boats on a river. One's floating downstream, carried by the current. It's easy, effortless. The people on board are laughing, drinking, having a grand old time. But where are they going? Wherever the river takes them. The other boat is going upstream. The people on board are sweating, straining, fighting against the current with every stroke of their oars. It's hard work, no doubt about it. But here's the kicker. They're going exactly where they want to go. So I ask you, which boat are you on? You see, most people are on that first boat. They're drifting through life, carried along by circumstances, by other people's expectations, by the path of least resistance. And you know what? There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you're here listening to me right now, I'm willing to bet you're not satisfied with just drifting. You want more. You want to be on that second boat? You want to chart your own course to fight against the current, to reach destinations that others can only dream of. And let me tell you something. You can do it, but it's going to take work. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take grinding in silence. Now, when I say grinding in silence, what do I mean? I'm talking about the work you do when no one's watching. The early mornings and late nights, the sacrifices you make that no one else sees, the battles you fight within yourself day in and day out. It's easy to be motivated when you're in front of a crowd, when people are cheering you on. But true success, lasting success, comes from what you do in the quiet moments. It comes from your ability to push yourself when there's no external pressure, when there's no one to impress but yourself. But here's the thing about grinding in silence. It's not just about the work. It's about the mindset. It's about moving from fear to unstoppable willpower. And that, my friends, is a journey we're going to explore together today. Let's start with fear. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It's been with us since the dawn of time, and it's not going anywhere. But here's what most people get wrong about fear. They think the goal is to eliminate it. They think that if they could just get rid of their fear, they'd be unstoppable. But that's not how it works. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is a tool. It's a signal. It's your body and mind telling you that you're about to do something important, something that matters. The goal isn't to eliminate fear. Think about it this way. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a cliff. There's a beautiful valley below, and you know that if you could just figure out how to get down there, amazing opportunities await. But it's a long way down, and your instinct is to back away from the edge. That's fear doing its job. It's keeping you safe. But what if, instead of backing away, you took that fear as a challenge? What if you saw it as a signal that this cliff, this valley, this opportunity, it matters? It's worth pursuing. What if you use that fear as fuel to figure out how to safely climb down, to find a path that others might miss? That's what I'm talking about when I say moving from fear to unstoppable willpower. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming fear-proof. It's about developing the mental toughness to feel the fear and do it anyway. Now, this isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process, a journey. And like any journey, it starts with a single step. So let's talk about those steps. Let's talk about how you can start grinding in silence, how you can transform your fear into unstoppable willpower. Step one. Embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. It's a cliche, but it's true. If you want to achieve great things, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you need to make yourself miserable. It means you need to challenge yourself, to push your boundaries, to do things that scare you a little bit every single day. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you'd usually stay quiet. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire for advice. Maybe it's finally starting that business you've been dreaming about. Whatever it is, find ways to step outside your comfort zone every day. It'll be uncomfortable at first, But that discomfort is the feeling of growth. Step 2, develop a morning routine. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. If you start your day reactive, checking emails, scrolling through social media, you're putting yourself at the mercy of the world. But if you start your day proactive, with meditation, exercise, reading, or working on your most important tasks, you're taking control. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what your morning routine should look like. That's for you to figure out. But I will tell you this, the most successful people I know, they all have a morning routine. They all take control of their mornings. And by extension, they take control of their lives. Step 3, set clear, specific goals. You can't hit a target you can't see. If you want to achieve great things, you need to know exactly what those great things are. Don't just say, I want to be successful or I want to be rich. Those aren't goals. They're wishes. A real goal is specific and measurable. Instead of I want to be rich, try I want to increase my income by 50 in the next 18 months. Instead of I want to be successful, try I want to start a business that helps 1,000 people in its first year. When you set clear, specific goals, you give your mind something to focus on. You give your willpower direction. And when you combine that direction with consistent action, that's when magic happens. Step 4, develop self-discipline. Willpower is like a muscle. When we use it, the stronger it gets. But just like a muscle, it can get tired. That's where self-discipline comes in. Self-discipline is about creating habits and routines that make doing the right thing automatic. It's about setting up your environment so that making good choices is easy and making bad choices is hard. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Because here's the truth. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. But discipline is reliable. Discipline gets things done. Step 5, learn to delay gratification. In today's world of instant everything, the ability to delay gratification is like a superpower. It's the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward in favor of a later, greater reward. This isn't easy. Our brains are wired for immediate gratification. But the ability to delay gratification is crucial for long-term success. It's what allows you to save money instead of spending it all. It's what allows you to work on your business instead of watching TV. It's what allows you to eat healthy instead of indulging in junk food. Developing this ability takes practice. Start small. If you usually check your phone first thing in the morning, try waiting an hour. If you usually buy something as soon as you want it, try waiting a week. These small acts of self-control build up over time, strengthening your willpower and your ability to focus on long-term goals. Step 6, embrace failure. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every innovation, they all came after countless failures. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people isn't that successful people never fail. It's that successful people see failure differently. They see it as feedback, as a learning opportunity, as a necessary step on the path to success. When you embrace failure, you take away its power to stop you. You transform it from a roadblock into a stepping stone. And when you do that, you become unstoppable. Step's gratitude. Gratitude might not seem like it has much to do with willpower, but trust me, it does. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on the positive. You build resilience. You develop a growth mindset. Think about it this way. When you're grateful, you're acknowledging that good things happen. You're recognizing progress. And when you do that consistently, you start to believe, really believe, that more good things are possible. That belief, that's rocket fuel for your willpower. Say, every night before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for a delicious meal, or a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. The point is to train your mind to look for the positive, to appreciate progress, to recognize the good in your life. Surround yourself with the right people. You've probably heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's a lot of truth to that. The people around you have a huge impact on your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions. If you want to develop unstoppable willpower, you need to surround yourself with people who support your goals, who challenge you to be better, who inspire you to keep pushing even when things get tough. This might mean seeking out mentors, joining mastermind groups, or simply being more intentional about who you spend your time with. And here's the thing, this doesn't mean you need to cut everyone out of your life who isn't 100 your goals, but it does mean being mindful of the influences in your life and making sure that on balance, the people around you are lifting you up, not holding you back. Step 9, take care of your physical health. Your mind and body are connected. If you want unstoppable willpower, you need to take care of your physical health. This means eating well, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep. When you're physically healthy, you have more energy. You think more clearly. You're more resilient to stress. All of these things contribute to stronger willpower. So don't neglect your physical health in pursuit of your goals. Make it a priority. Treat your body like the incredible machine it is. Step 10. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. It's a powerful tool for developing willpower because it helps you become more aware of your impulses and reactions. When you're mindful, you create a space between stimulus and response. You give yourself the opportunity to choose your reaction, rather than just reacting automatically. This is crucial for developing unstoppable willpower. You don't need to become a meditation guru to practice mindfulness. Start small. Try taking a few deep breaths and focusing on the sensation of breathing. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Do this for a few minutes each day, and you'll start to develop greater awareness and control over your thoughts and actions. Now, these 10 steps, they're not a magic formula. They're not going to transform you overnight. But if you commit to them, if you practice them consistently, day in and day out, they will change your life. They will help you move from fear to unstoppable willpower. But here's the most important thing to remember. This journey, this transformation, it happens in silence. It happens in the quiet moments when no one's watching. It happens when you choose to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing. It happens when you keep going, even when you don't feel like it. That's what it means to grind in silence. It means doing the work day after day, whether you feel motivated or not. It means pushing yourself, challenging yourself, growing yourself, even when no one else can see it. And let me tell you something. That silence, it's deafening. It's in that silence that you'll hear your own thoughts, your own doubts, your own fears. But it's also in that silence that you'll find your strength, your resilience, your unstoppable willpower. You see, success isn't about what you do when everyone's watching. It's about what you do when no one's watching. It's about the choices you make when it's just you, alone with your thoughts and your goals. Think about any great achievement in history, the moon landing, the invention of the light bulb, the creation of great works of art. Sure, we see the end result. We see the moment of triumph. But what we don't see are the countless hours of work that went into it. The failures, the setbacks, the moments of doubt. We don't see Thomas Edison trying thousands of different materials before finding the right filament for his light bulb. We don't see the NASA scientists working late into the night, solving problem after problem to make space travel possible. We don't see the artists sketching and resketching, refining their vision over and over again. That's the grind. That's the silence. And that's where greatness is born. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm just one person. I'm not trying to land on the moon or invent the next big thing. I just want to improve my life, achieve my goals, be successful in my own way. And to that I say, good. Because that's exactly where you should start. You don't need to change the world to be successful. You just need to change your world. And that starts with changing yourself. Remember, every great achievement starts with a single step. Every journey begins with a decision to start, and that decision, that's something you can make right now in this very moment. You can decide right now to start grinding in silence. You can decide right now to face your fears and develop unstoppable willpower. You can decide right now to become the person you've always wanted to. It won't be easy. There will be days when you want to give up, days when it feels like you're not making any progress, days when the silence is so loud, it's almost unbearable. But let me tell you something. Those days, those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when you have the opportunity to prove to yourself what you're really made of. Those are the days when you build true, lasting, unshakable confidence. Because confidence isn't about always succeeding. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. It's about knowing that even if you fail, you'll get back up and try again. It's about knowing that you have the willpower to keep going no matter what. And that kind of confidence, it's unbeatable, it's unstoppable, it's the kind of confidence that changes lives. So here's my challenge to you. Start today, start right now. Choose one area of your life where you want to make a change. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your career, maybe it's your relationships. Whatever it is, choose one area and commit to grinding in silence. Set a clear, specific goal. Create a plan to achieve that goal. And then get to work, do something every single day to move closer to that goal. It doesn't have to be big. Small steps, taken consistently, lead to big results. And here's the key. Do it quietly. Do it without fanfare. Do it without seeking approval or recognition from others. Do it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's who you're really competing against. You're not competing against anyone else. You're competing against the person you were yesterday. As you do this, as you start grinding in silence, you'll start to notice something. Your fear will start to change. It won't disappear. Remember, fear isn't the enemy, but it will transform. Instead of paralyzing you, it will energize you. Instead of holding you back, it will push you forward. And your willpower, it will grow stronger with every choice you make, with every challenge you overcome, with every goal you achieve. It will become a force that propels you forward, that carries you through obstacles, that keeps you going when everything else tells you to stop. This is the power of grinding in silence. This is the journey from fear to unstoppable willpower. And it's a journey that's available to each and every one of you. Now, I want you to picture something for me. Picture yourself a year from now. You've been grinding in silence for a year. You've been facing your fears, developing your willpower, working towards your goals every single day. Who are you in that picture? How do you feel? What have you achieved? How has your life changed? That person, that future version of you is waiting. They're counting on you to do the work that future version of you is waiting. They're counting on you to do the work, to make the tough choices, to grind in silence. And you know what? You have everything you need to become that person. The power is within you right now. But here's the thing about grinding in silence. It's not always going to be exciting. It's not always going to feel good. There will be days when you wonder if it's worth it. Days when you're tempted to give up, to go back to the easy path, to join those folks drifting downstream. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when your willpower is truly tested. And those are the moments when you have the opportunity to prove to yourself what you're really made of. You see, willpower isn't about never feeling tired or discouraged or afraid. It's about feeling all those things and pushing through anyway. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Think about it like this. Imagine you're building a house. You've got your blueprint, you've got your tools, you've got your materials. You start working, and at first it's exciting. You can see the progress you're making. The foundation is laid. The walls start going up. It feels good. But then you hit a snag. Maybe it rains for a week straight and you can't work. Maybe you realize you made a mistake and have to redo part of the structure. Maybe you just hit that middle part of the project where progress seems slow and the end feels far away. This is where a lot of people give up. This is where they decide it's too hard or not worth it, or that they're not cut out for it, but not you. You keep going. You show up every day, rain or shine. You do the work whether you feel like it or not. You keep grinding in silence day after day, and then one day you look up and you realize you've built a house. Not just any house, but your house. A house that represents your vision, your hard work, your perseverance. A house that stands as a testament to your unstoppable willpower. That's what grinding in silence is all about. It's about showing up every day, doing the work and trusting the process. It's about having faith in yourself and your abilities, even when you can't see the end result yet. Now let's talk about fear again for a moment. Because as you're grinding in silence, as you're pushing yourself and growing, you're going to encounter fear. New fears, bigger fears. And that's a good thing. You see, if you're not encountering fear, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not growing. You're staying in your comfort zone. And while the comfort zone feels safe, it's also where dreams go to die. So when you feel that fear, when you encounter that voice in your head telling you that you can't do it, or that you're not good enough, or that you should just give up, celebrate it. That fear is a signpost. It's telling you that you're on the right path. It's telling you that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're growing, that you're becoming more than you were before. And here's the beautiful thing about facing your fears. Consistently, they start to lose their power over you. The first time you do something scary, it's terrifying. The second time, it's still scary, but a little less so. The 10th time, it's just something you do. This is how you develop unstoppable willpower. You face your fears over and over again. You push through the discomfort over and over again. You do the work day after day, whether you feel like it or not. And as you do this, something amazing starts to happen. Your confidence grows. Your resilience increases. Your willpower becomes stronger and stronger. You start to realize that you're capable of far more than you ever thought possible. You start to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as challenges to overcome. You start to see setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. You start to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as the architect of your own life. This is the power of grinding in silence. This is the transformation from fear to unstoppable willpower. Now, I want to address something important here. When I talk about grinding in silence, about pushing yourself and facing your fears, I'm not saying you should do this alone. Having support, having people in your corner who believe in you and encourage you, that's incredibly valuable. But here's the key. The support of others is the icing on the cake. It's not the cake itself. The cake, the foundation of your success, that comes from within you. It comes from your commitment, your discipline, your willingness to do the work when no one's watching. Think about it like this. Imagine you're running a marathon. Having people cheering you on from the sidelines, that's great. It can give you a boost of energy, a moment of motivation, but those people can't run the race for you. They can't move your legs or control your breathing. That's all on you. The same is true in life. Support from others is wonderful, but it can't do the work for you. It can't make the tough choices for you. It can't push through the fear and discomfort for you. That's your job. That's where your willpower comes in. And here's the thing about willpower. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you choose to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing, you're strengthening your willpower. Every time you push through fear or discomfort, you're building your mental toughness. This is why grinding in silence is so powerful. When you're doing the work day after day, when you're pushing yourself even when no one's watching, you're building that willpower muscle. You're developing the mental strength that will carry you through any challenge. Now, let's talk about consistency for a moment. Because grinding in silence isn't about making one big heroic effort. It's not about working yourself to exhaustion for a week and then giving up. It's about showing up day after day and doing the work. Consistency is the key to transforming your life. It's not the intensity of your efforts that matters most. It's the consistency. A small action repeated daily will always outperform a big action done once in a while. Think about water. A single wave can crash against a rock with immense force, but it won't make much of an impact. But a steady drip of water, over time, can carve through solid stone. That's the power of consistency. That's the power grinding in silence. So don't focus on making huge, dramatic changes overnight. Focus on making small, consistent progress every single day. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes. Maybe it's doing 20 push-ups. Maybe it's making one sales call. Whatever it is, do it every day. Rain or shine, motivated or not, do the work. And here's the beautiful thing about consistency. It compounds, just like compound interest can turn a small investment into a fortune over time. Consistent effort can turn small daily actions into life-changing results. Imagine you're trying to lose weight. If you crash diet and lose 10 pounds in a week, but then go back to your old habits, what have you really accomplished? But if you make small, sustainable changes to your diet and exercise habits and stick with them day after day, week after week, month after month, that's how real, lasting transformation happens. The same is true for any goal you're pursuing. Consistent, daily action is the key to success. It's not always exciting. It's not always fun, but it works. And that's what matters. Now let's talk about patience, because grinding in silence, developing unstoppable willpower, it takes time. It's not an overnight process. And in today's world of instant gratification that can be tough to accept, we live in a world of overnight success stories and get-rich-quick schemes. We see highlight reels of people's lives on social media and think that's the whole story. But let me tell you something, real success, lasting success, it doesn't happen overnight. What we often see is overnight success is usually the result of years of hard work, of grinding in silence, of pushing through failures and setbacks. The overnight success is just the moment when all that hard work finally becomes visible to the world. So be patient with yourself. Understand that developing unstoppable willpower, achieving your goals, becoming the person you want to be, it's a process, it's a journey. And like any journey, it takes time. But here's the thing about patience. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for success to come to you. It means continuing to work, continuing to push yourself, continuing to grind in silence, even when you're not seeing immediate results. It's like planting a tree. You don't plant the seed one day and expect to see a fully grown tree the next. It takes time. But that doesn't mean you stop watering it, stop nurturing it. You keep doing the work day after day, trusting in the process, having faith that your efforts will bear fruit in time. And they will. If you stay consistent, if you keep grinding in silence, if you keep developing your willpower, you will see results. They might not come as quickly as you'd like. They might not look exactly like you imagined. But they will come. And when they do, when you start to see the fruits of your labor, when you start to experience the power of your unstoppable willpower, that's when things really get exciting. That's when you realize that you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. You see, developing unstoppable willpower isn't just about achieving a specific goal. It's about becoming a person who can achieve any goal. It's about transforming yourself from someone who's at the mercy of their fears and doubts into someone who can face any challenge with confidence and determination. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you had truly unstoppable willpower. Imagine if you could face any fear, overcome any obstacle, achieve any goal you set your mind to. How would that change your life? How would that change the lives of those around you? That's the power you're developing when you grind in silence. That's the transformation you're undergoing as you move from fear to unstoppable willpower. Now, I want to be clear about something. Developing unstoppable willpower doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. It doesn't mean you'll never have doubts or face challenges. What it means is that you'll have the mental strength to push through those fears, to overcome those doubts, to face those challenges head on. It means that instead of being paralyzed by fear, you'll be energized by it. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, you'll learn from them and come back stronger. Instead of giving up when things get tough, you'll dig deep and find the strength to keep going. Say, that's what unstoppable willpower looks like. And that's what you're building day by day as you grind in silence. So let me ask you this. What are you going to do with this information? Are you going to nod your head, agree that it sounds good, and then go back to your old habits? Or are you going to take action? Are you going to start grinding in silence today? Are you going to face your fears head on? Are you going to commit to developing unstoppable willpower? The choice is yours. But I want you to remember something. This moment right now is the beginning of the rest of your life. What you do from this moment forward will determine who you become, what you achieve, the impact you have on the world. You have within you the power to become someone truly extraordinary. You have within you the seeds of greatness. But those seeds won't grow on their own. They need to be nurtured. They need to be fed with consistent effort, with unwavering determination, with unstoppable willpower. So start today. Start right now. Choose one area of your life where you want to make a change. Set a clear goal, create a plan, and then get to work. Grind in silence. Face your fears. Develop your willpower. Do it when it's easy, and do it when it's hard. Do it when you feel motivated, and do it when you don't. Do it when you can see progress, and do it when it feels like you're stuck. Just keep going, keep pushing, keep grinding. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Even though you're grinding in silence, even though the work is yours alone to do, there are others out there on the same path. There are others pushing themselves, facing their fears, developing their willpower. You're part of a community of strivers, of doers, of people who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Draw strength from that. Let it inspire you on the tough days. Let it remind you that greatness is possible, that transformation is real, that you have within you the power to become truly unstoppable. So go forth and grind in silence. Face your fears. Develop your willpower. Become the person you were meant to be. The world is waiting for you to unleash your greatness. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Your journey from fear to unstoppable willpower starts now. Embrace it, own it, and never, ever give up.